live!
We're live! Hey, did you think we forgot you? We're 5 minutes late or something like that. Oh, there's a chicken. Her and her chicken. What do we do without that chicken? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
get a
know.
new chicken.
How y'all doing this week? Sure nice to be with you again. This week, I'm gonna kind of talk about the Wonky wire wrap bracelet, which there is a video out about it, but it's old. So, I think it's maybe time to do a new one. I don't know though. I mean, when we did the first one, it was pretty good. So I don't know if we can improve on it or not. Maybe. Hey, there's Kimberly Diggs from Pittsburgh, PA. She showed up again. Thanks for coming. Good to see you here with us. That's awesome.
Sweet.
Sweet. That's sweet. Nancy's here. Javier. Oh, you.
I like to say
Goofy
hello,
girl.
everybody.
She likes to say hello, everybody. Okay, she said hello, everybody. Colleen, Maria. Yeah, here's some people who showed up. Just never know. You just never can tell who's going to come. But anyway, this is the bracelet that we're going to be doing in the workshop here in not too long. Let's see, about 3 weeks. Not long.
I think we're less than that now.
Well, I got next week to get ready.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And the week after, and then the week after that.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 weeks.
So I got like basically 2 weeks to get this show on the road and get it packed. So I thought, well, I'm going to need demo pieces to take over there. And then I know some would have been saying for a long time they wish I would remake that video. So I decided that today's the day. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to make a Wonky wire wrap bracelet. Now, the first thing you have to have, oh, look at everybody showing up here. Karen, Dawn, there's Ronalda, Karen Mansell, Soleil, Mary Vaughn, Maud Everett, Jerry Tanaka, Trudy Boatwright,
Everybody's here.
Rosalind, Rochelle Rankin from Edgewood, Maryland. This is awesome. I think I see some new people. Pat Counts is here, Joyce Bailey is here, Lori Wooten. So this is awesome. We got a good start. We're off and running already. So we're going to do the Wonky wire wrap bracelet today. And we're just going to kind of talk about a few things about it. And then until Friday comes around, I'm going to have some more Wonky wire wrap bracelet things to share. So that way, everybody that's coming to the workshop, if they watch this, they'll have some idea about what we're doing. And if you can't make it, you'll still be able to make yours from home. Now, the one thing that is important to make this bracelet my way, and you know what, I don't think you need to feel trapped into using this piece. You know, you could probably find any number of ways to adapt this and not use it. But what I like to use is this one. And it's the skinny cuff that's on the site. Now this particular one is not on the site because it's Choxy. Choxy just came in and I was holding it back for a couple reasons, which I'll tell you a little bit later. But we do have them in gold. I think there's maybe a couple silver left. There's some in rusted iron, or should be. I've got some back here too. I'm kind of holding them back because we have to have them for the class. I have a whole bunch more on order. I hope they're making them right now. I hope they're going to go to the plater soon and get back here. But you guys might have some of these in your stash too. But these are the wire cuffs that I get. These are made in the United States. And I have them plated by my plater who does them in my colors. And so this one's Choxy. The one I'm working on here, however, is rusted iron. And you can see how close they are in color. If you look at it close, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but this one is definitely like dark milk chocolate brown, the Choxy. This one is definitely got a lot of iron underneath a black surface, and probably iron oxide on the top of it actually. And rusted iron will oxidize with patina when you put it on. Choxy won't. Why is that? It's because the oxidized iron top is metallic, it has metal in it. So, and also the copper sub finish has metal in it. So it'll take. But with Choxy, this is a mixture of different chemical agents and paint. So it acts as, and there's no metal in it. So it acts as a barrier to the brass. So if you want to patina this, you will have to distress it and then maybe do it with paints, Gilder's paints, vintage inks, acrylics, you know, whatever you want to do. And then too, if you did that, you would need to seal it really good, because till you get the wire on it and stuff rolling around that, you know, you don't want it to chip up and be a mess. But that's the difference with your Choxy stuff. You can do all this stuff with it and you can patina in it, but you're not going to be doing traditional patina on it. The only way you could do it is to lay metal down on top of it, which with the swell against system, you would put your metal coating down first. And then for the intent and purpose of this, you might get too much stuff rolling around on it and it could take some of it off. So I would stick with a metal one, color one, if you want to add patina, okay, to the bracelet itself. But honestly, till you're done, you're not going to see that much of the bracelet anyway, and you're going to see why. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's see who else. Julie's here. Cool. Deb Long, PK. Deb from Michigan. Hey, it's nice to have ya. And let's see who else. Sandy Boss is here. Melissa's here with Harpo. See that? Okay, we got a good 33 in the house already, I see. So that's awesome. So anyway, the way it works, because, you know, this doesn't look like much. But how it came about is one day I was sitting around at my desk, just the same way as stuff that happens to you, and I saw some wire there, and I just started wrapping it around. I don't know what I was thinking about. And as I went on, I'm like, hey, what if you did this? What if you did that? And so, as far as I know, this is my deal that I came up with, as far as I know. If somebody else did, then we were like, you know, cruising the same cosmos that day or something. I don't know. But as far as I know, it is. So this is the way I do it. And as you guys know, I am not a wire artist. I love wire, like polymer clay. You know, I love polymer clay, but I'm not a teacher of polymer clay. Wire, I do branch out and I do the wonky stuff, and I do show people how I do it because I feel like I can. And hopefully nobody will make too much fun of me. If you do, shame on you. Because to each his own. If you go back and you watch the old video, which is like 6 years ago on doing this, we had our old camera and no tripod and everything was all shaky and out of focus. Linda's out here. Renee Cochran, Kelly Weimer, Maureen Baronoff's here. Yay! But I keep stressing in that video, go your own way. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it that way. With wire, there are some techniques that would be in my best interest to learn, because it would probably save my wrists, things like that. But as far as your technique and what you do, if what you figure out works and it looks good and it's sturdy and there's no wire poking out to scratch anybody, then woohoo, you've just found something new and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But if it doesn't look good, if it's messed up, if it's not even, if the balance isn't right, or if you gouge up the wire too much, or you have pokey pieces sticking out, then no, it's not right. So that's how that goes, in my humble opinion, which is not so humble, really. Lisa Lawler's here. Samantha Mansell's here. Awesome. Let's see which is which I could go together. What's she talking about? Oh, are you going to the workshop? Yeah, maybe next year, huh? Next year, Chrissy and I are teaching in tandem, all 3 days.
I'll be there.
Yeah, she's always there. She can't wait till she gets there. She's insufferable till she gets there. Anyway, so we're going to learn how to wrap on these. And I have one here that I just wrapped a few minutes before we started, so you can see it does not take very long. Let me get it into the frame so you can see it good. Okay, and you can just see, you know, when I say wonky wrap, it's wonky. But that's the way I do things. So I'll just kind of turn it and show you. It's just got all kinds of loops on it. And what these loops are possibilities for design. They're hanging holes. And I call this a charm bracelet. And the reason I do, let me take this one off. The reason I call it a charm bracelet is because you can, you know, hang stuff all off of it just like a charm bracelet. And then I'm going to put this on so you can see. You can stretch it. It has some give. You know, you don't want to stand there and stretch it up, you know, out all day and all night. But it's very, very heavy gauge brass. So
you're not going to snap it.
No, you're not going to snap it. You know, it's not going to hurt. But anyway, you put it on loose, and then just then you just push it closed, like you do a lot of cuffs.
Yeah,
you know.
That's true.
So you just have to be sure that you have your beads all on the one side. You know, you're not going to put beads up here and then down here. I don't know how that would work out. I mean, you could try it, but I don't think it would work out too good. And then here's how it looks at the back. It's little curls and coils. And then I hang some. So you can see I started to hang some stuff off of it. And then to get it off, you know, I just stretch it out a little bit. And there you go. So all these little holes and loopy things, they're hanging opportunities is what they are. So I'll show you one that's finished. And I know I've showed you this one before, but hey, for those who weren't around, this one's really kind of over the top. But I kept it for now anyway. And you can see it's totally hung full with all kinds of chutch. There are little charms on here. There are beads of different sizes. Some of these beads are wire wrapped. You can see they're wrapped. And some of them have coils at the bottom instead of the head pin. And just there's a little bit of flash in here, a little bit of rhinestone rondelle going on.
I like it because it adds so much, it just creates a balance to me with these little coils at the end.
Oh, you like them?
Matches, you know,
and of course,
like
if you're going to do that, you can see I don't have them all jammed together. You know, I do them every so often. So I have one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. This one I thought would be fun to have just that one funny, unexpected thing and have it hanging out. But to be honest with you, I don't like the balance of that. I think I would take it off. I have a necklace I made like that. It's a bib. It is cool that way, but I'm not liking this one that way. So, you know, sometimes you have to try stuff, that's all. And of course, the rusted iron finish is also interactive, so you can distress it and let the copper come out from the back too. But this is one that's finished. And of course, you can do it your way. But what I did with this one is kind of like the same as I do with kitchen sinker necklace. I filled just about every last opportunity for hanging anything. It's got something hanging from it. Just turn it slowly so you can see. And sometimes you have to balance it. See, you can see I have this one attached to this loop and to this loop, so it's got two jumps going either way. That's so that it would hang right. And I'll show you more about that eventually. If I don't get to it today, maybe I will on Friday, because there's just a lot of stuff to think about. But there's nothing hard about this. You can be a beginner's beginner, and you can do this. You really can. There's nothing difficult about it. So it's basically knowing how to turn a head pin and wrap the top, do a little coil, and you know, you're good to go. So anyway, let's show you a little bit, see what everybody's saying. This is interesting concept. Which gauge of finish wire are you using in that bracelet? Very good question, Soleil, in case I forgot. It's 20 gauge. I would not use lighter wire, and the reason why is when you go to hang the stuff off of it, you know, it can get out of shape or pulled out of shape easy. 20 is perfect. I've made many of these bracelets. When I had my shop, I made so many, it was crazy. So, you know, they held up really well. So you want to use 20 gauge. And this one with the rusted iron is antique copper. As you can see, it's not an exact match, but it goes really well. Here's a piece of the, see how well that goes? It's like the color of the highlight. You know? We have the vintage bronzy wire, which isn't, I don't think I have any back here. But it's not that much different in color. So this is here. Let me creep under here and see what I've got so much stuff thrown around on here. No, that's antique copper too. So, but that one which we have, would also work. Or if you really want to have a lot of contrast, you could go with gold, maybe, if you want. Or you could go with bright copper. That's probably what I would opt for, is bright copper or bare copper. But keep in mind, if you use bare copper wire that is not plated copper, it's going to turn. It's going to tarnish in time. Maybe you like that look, which is fine. But just keep that in mind. Our silver wire is non-tarnish. It doesn't turn. It's not supposed to anyway. So you have to worry about that. The gold either. It doesn't tarnish.
That doesn't tarnish either.
No. This won't either because it's plated. But bare copper wire or bare brass wire will in time. And maybe you like that look. So whatever. Anyway, let's get wrapping. Let's put this out of the way here. Let's get wrapping. To start with, I start with, and you don't have to do this, and I'll show you why you don't have to, but I do it. I start, hey, Chris Gump's here. Yay. Michelle Flores, Lisa Hay. Hayes. Not Hay, Hayes. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I start out with a big, long piece of wire. I go, it's probably 24 inches. So there are some clumsy things about it. But what I do is I have a big piece of poster board under here, and I just kind of go the length of it. And that works for me, but at first with it being so long, it's a little bit clumsy. So if you wanted to start with a shorter piece, you could do that. It's like, whatever works for you. I'm just starting you out basically with an idea.
So like a foot long? Is it like
It's like
3 feet?
2 feet maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a
It
little
looks
bit
like a
more.
yardstick. That's why I was thinking.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Where's our yardstick at?
I don't know.
Somebody took it.
Probably.
I'll have to chop their hand off.
It's probably hidden somewhere.
Take my yardstick. No, here it is. It's in the corner.
I see it.
Maldiciéndoles.
Now we'll see if it's
Madia. Yeah, it is. It's 36 inches. So I cut off a yard of wire.
I wanted to know.
Yes, inquiring minds. I cut off a wire. I cut off a foot of a yard of wire. I need more Diet Coke. I think I'll
More Diet Coke, please.
go have some.
Chicken in the audience.
Yeah, chicken in there. Okay, so I've got my little skinny cuff here. The first thing I start out with is a coil. So here we go. Okay, I try to straighten the wire best I can because it's going to come off the spool kind of, kinked up a little bit. They have a thing called a wire straightener. Any of you use it? You ever use it, Javi? That wire? I
No.
thought I got you one
Yeah,
time.
you did, but I never used it. I always use my finger.
Yeah, I always do this
I just
too.
put like the plier on one end and then I'll
Okay.
just straighten it.
Okay, so you put your hands in there and show them how you do it.
Okay.
I mean, I know how I do it, but maybe you've got a better way. Javi's going to get on here and show you.
Sorry. Just pretty much I take the tip of it, if this works, and just straighten it like that.
And these are the loopy pliers that have the notches so it'll hold them.
And I straighten by going inwards, outwards, sideways, this sideways, and it becomes straightened.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the edge won't be that straight, but it's pretty straight.
That's pretty good, yeah. That's pretty good. Excellent. There's
Sorry
a little
if I
bit
was
of
out of
hobby
frame
wire technique. She's the wire expert around here. Alrighty, so I start this way. Okay, I've got my stuff straightened out a little bit, and I'm going to go here like I'm making an eye pin. Not head pin, eye pin. Okay, so I bend it back, and then I'm going to start bringing it up. And get it nice and rounded as I can, as I can possibly do it. I'm going to do it. And of course, I'm not just doing a crummy job of this because you guys are watching me.
It's so true. When some people
When you're
watching,
watching me, then I goof up.
when somebody's watching me doing jewelry, I kind of screw up
I'm on the spot here. I have to look professional. Okay, I got a pretty good loop here. You the same way, Javi?
That's an awesome loop, actually.
You think that's an awesome loop?
Yeah. My loops are
There's
always,
my
like,
loop. See,
long.
there's a loop. Nice round loop, okay? So you want to get that round because it's going to be the center of your coil. So then you take your flat nose, or chain nose, some people call them, I guess, and you just start coaxing it. And if you're worried about marring your wire, it's not a bad idea to tape your pliers so that it doesn't happen. But
Or magic tool.
I don't seem to have too much trouble with it, so I'm not worried about it. Do you put that magic rubber tool stuff on the tips?
Yeah.
Really? Of this, like here?
Mhm.
Really? I would think that would.
Because before I used to use paper
Yeah.
between the pliers
Uh-huh.
to not make marks.
Mm-hmm.
And that just took so long.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I used the magic. What was it? I don't forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
You
we
dip
have
it in
it.
there.
We have it around here,
Somewhere.
somewhere on this desk, as a matter of
I
fact.
thought so too, but we'll see.
Anyway, now here's another cool thing you could do with this wire. If you want, you could take it and you could put it on your soldering block, maybe, and then you could get your fingers out of the way, of course, and then you can run your torch over it and get it hot, and then take some of the Swelligant darkening solution on a Q-tip, and it will immediately darken it even more and make it look real grungy. And then you could take a little piece of steel wool and kind of go over it to, you know, even it out and stuff, so you could have that look too. That would work on the copper. Okay, so I've got a nice coil here. Now, here's the trick. I'm going to kind of match it up with one of these little end pieces here, and I'm going to hold it with my fingers. This part is like the toughest part. And then I'll get the wire going this way. Can you see?
Don't stab your eyeball.
Yeah, don't stab your eyeball or the person sitting next to you in class. Okay, so now I'm going to pull that around as I hold this other one tightly. Tightly, tightly. And I'm going to come over here pretty close to it, and I'm just going to start wrapping it. And so you've got the little nubby thing in the way, but you know what? What you can do is after that, you can turn it around this way, the other way, and it seems to be a little bit easier. Don't worry about this sliding around a little bit now. I don't know, whatever works. It seemed like the other one I just made a few minutes ago was easier if I pulled it toward me. Don't worry about if it slips up on this at this part. You don't have to worry about that. But just however it works for you, do it like that. How's that for instruction? However it works for you, do it like that.
I'm happy at least the cuff has a opening, so you could do that, because when you're doing it with no opening, it's much
yeah,
harder.
if it was a bangle, a complete bangle, you'd have a lot. It'd be a lot harder. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. You do however many you want. You don't want to wrap. If you want to wrap the whole thing and then come back and go over it to make your loops, you can do that. Okay, I'm as far as I want to go with this. So now I'm going to try and straighten my wire a little bit more, because I don't want it to be too messed up. Yeah, it's straightening up nice. Okay, now as for this coil here, you're going to say, well, Brenda, isn't that going to like pull out and snag on stuff? Well, it would, except you're going to do this. You're going to take it and kind of just pull the ends of it down.
Like bend it down.
Yeah,
like
bend it across a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Or you could tighten it up a little bit and bend it across.
Pretty cool.
And it's better probably if you do it with your fingers than your pliers, because you might ding it up, unless your pliers are taped or rubber or whatever. So there's a little bit of play here, but that's okay. We will catch that on the flip-flop, because we'll be coming back on this. And then the next thing we do is just a series of loops. Now on this one, I did 5 spaced out, so I thought that was pretty good balance, because even though this is wonky, I want to have some balance. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make a loop about that big. See? Okay. Alrighty. And now I'm wrapping again. And because it's become a little bit shorter now, because I did my coil in my initial loop, now it's a little bit easier to work with. And I could be working from the other way too. Seemed like the first time I did it, that was easier, but now it's easier going this way. So whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Come over here.
Wire just floats everything.
You know, most people, if you went and took a class, you know, with wire, they'd probably tell you don't start with a piece a yard long. But it works.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so? I don't know. I would just think because
always need a lot of wire.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Always.
maybe they do. Well, maybe they give you better tips than I can about how not to poke your eye out with it. But it is clumsy, for sure. I don't know. Maybe they would teach you ways to like twist off and add on, like when we do cage work.
Twist off?
And add on
I don't know.
when we do caging. Okay, so now I've made another loop. You can see there's just like kind of like little festoons or
Yeah.
something. So I want to try and get these as close to each other as I can. But if I don't, so what? They don't. They're just more for decoration than anything. So that's enough there. So now I've got my one that's going to be in the middle of my wrist. And I might make that one hang down just a little longer than the other ones for my charms. Okay, and then I'll start wrapping again. See what people are saying. I'll have to watch the rest later. Have fun, Colleen, with your friends. You must be a good cook. They want to come to your house and eat.
I wish I was a good cook.
I went to my mother. Yeah, I wish I was too. I used to be. I went to my mother's last night for dinner. It's nothing like having mom cook your dinner.
Yes.
Nothing like that.
You are so
I'm so fortunate I still have my mother too.
Mother's food always tastes better.
Yes.
And then
So about like that. And I'm holding it. You really do. You don't have to have really strong hands to do this, but you do have to have a firm grip, I will say. So let me get this on here.
no, you don't have to have strong hands. You just
No, just a firm grip to hold it in place. That's good. Alrighty, so now I think I'm going to come, well, I know what I'll do. I should have made some of my loops a little bit bigger though, because I think I'm going to come up with my last loop is going to end up too broad. I like to have them balanced, but you know what? There's no to anything with this. You just do what you like, actually. So, okay, that's my last loop I'm going to make, my long loop on the bottom. So now I'm wrapping this off. Okay. Ooh.
somebody said,
Well, something went flipping.
well,
Something.
we'll find it later.
Yeah.
It was probably a bee.
The sweeper will find it, or Millie will. Millie always brings up beads out of the basement
She does.
in her mouth. Yeah, and then I have to worry her about her like a little kid, because I'm afraid she loves them, but she could choke on them.
I think she just brings them up and then drops them in the kitchen and just rolls it around.
She tastes them around all over the place. Okay, so now I've got to the end of the line here, so now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to pull it up a little tighter, come it around, and then here's my little tricky poo. I need to make another coil on this end, but I've got an awful lot of wire left here, see, a bunch. So, which is a good thing because I still need it. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be able to use my pliers here. I'm going to have to do this by hand with my fingers. Okay, so I'm making a little loop here with my fingers. And when I get it to be small enough, then I'm going to start coiling it with my fingers. Oh, yes, I am. Now, the trick to this is not to get it all underneath. You have to keep it like each wire, subsequently twisted must be next to the one before it. And that's not always real easy. Sometimes I goof that up. But, even if you do, you can still make it look right. It's not the end of the world. But I'm going to try to do it here.
It's a pretty good loop so far.
Yeah, so far it's not so bad. I need to go around a couple more times maybe. Make it big enough. Whoopsie, now I want to go under. So you have to just keep hold of it and just be very deliberate about how you do it. And if you know of a better way, honey, then you go for it. This is what I know. And nobody taught me, so I don't really have, great wire technique. I just figured it out myself. Just came up with it. Alrighty, so now I think I'm at a place where I could forget this coiling business. So I'm going to come around and go under and then wrap again. And if this is like watching paint dry for you, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't think anybody can make a video about this and do it like real fast.
No.
Okay, so now I've got my coil back here. Let's see how it compares. Now, they do look different. You know, the one I did with my hand definitely isn't as flat and as perfect as this one, but it's okay. It doesn't matter that much. We can do something else about that later. But now, I could actually go ahead and make another one right here. Let's do that. In fact, you could go down the whole line and keep doing them and have the whole thing full of the coils. And you could just wear it without any beads or anything. It would be cool. Or you could trap pieces of chain in it, or leather maybe, going through. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can go with it. I have some leather cord coming in a lot of different colors. I didn't get a lot of it to really sell because I want to play with it so I can figure it out, you know, kind of get it under my belt a little bit. It's nothing hard about it, but just kind of understand a little bit better before I offer it to anybody, you know. Okay, now that's cute. That kind of looks cool. Balances out a little bit, so I got another one there. All right, so now I'm going to continue to wrap, and how I'm going to do it is like this. Pull it under. Yeah, I got sari ribbon coming in. I got wedding cake beads. They're making them for me right now in India. They say they'll be done making them in a month, and then they'll send them. And those are made in India. India glass wedding cake beads are just so cool. Because the only other ones there is like Venetian glass, which they're wonderful, but you know, who can afford them? India glass you can afford. And I like stuff that's wonky a little bit. And India glass is wonky, but it'll be fine. So I'm excited about that coming very soon. Oh, there's just a whole bunch of stuff coming. Tomorrow, we're going to pull the gingerbread line. So if you haven't heard about this yet, listen up. If you like gingerbread pewter, it's still up today. And if you want, you can use that gingerbread coupon from last week, which is gingerbread in all caps, and go and put that at the coupon box when you have $25 worth of that product, and it will kick in and give you 30% off of it. So I'm deep enough on it yet that you can still do that tonight. You can keep doing it until I start taking off the site, you know, but I mean, tomorrow, at some point in the day, we're going to start taking that down. So Howie's going to give me some instructions today so we can hide it, so we'll have it for next year if we want to. Well, no, we're not. Wait a minute, I'm thinking about ACP, aqua copper brass. No, we're never having gingerbread again. Oh, duh. Yeah, this is it, baby. If you like that look, you better get it, because there's no more. There's not going to be any more. And the reason for that is like I explained, you know, we had problems. The plater couldn't get the right chemicals anymore. He couldn't do a consistent job. I'm big on that. It's just issues. So we're not having it anymore. Okay, so I got a bunch of loops going on here. So now what do I do with this screwy little tail? It's not enough to go clear to the end. All right, so we're going to make a coil. All righty, so I'm going to start with that again. You get to watch me make another one. And if you get it and it's a little too long, I'll show you a little bit later what you can do to fix that. But anyway, let me get the thing going. See what you guys are saying. Kitty Kisser says hello. Diane. Valasek, what did I miss? Well, you can wait till it's over. You can roll it back and see it again, Diane. How's that? But basically, we just started a bracelet. I prefer using a longer piece of wire like that. I find adding more messes with the flow of piece I'm making. Well, yeah, good. Whatever works for you guys. It's good to hear your opinion there, Michelle. That's excellent. That little bracelet is reasonable. Yeah, it is. And she says something about it being handmade. Yeah, this is handmade too. They make it off of a die stamping, but then they have to form it. There's a lot in the business of brass stampings that is done by hand, and people don't realize it. Even like 1928 jewelry, it's still like 80% completely handmade. So I got something to tell you about that too. The book is coming along nicely. We're into the rewrite, and it's looking nice, and it's going to go faster now that we have all the basics down. So we're hoping to release at the end of October, and then sometime after that, depending on a few things, we will be having the launch party. And it will be held just outside of Los Angeles in a place called Greystone Mansion, which was built in 1928, right before the stock market crash. And it's a very historic place. And it's beautiful. Everything's all original. And they have a historical society that preserves it and takes care of it. And they have different events in there. They do a lot of author book sightings in there. And then they do some weddings in there, as you could expect. And it's beautiful. It's an unbelievable place. It's gorgeous. Well, anyway, Susan Rosen, who is in the book, because this company started with her, with Mel, Richard, and her. And she's still around to this day, and very, very helpful to me in making this book. And she is on the board of Greystone Mansion. So she is going to procure the mansion for us in order to have the book signing launch party. And it's going to be pretty fantastic, let me tell you. And I'm glad she's doing this, because I don't, know people out there. I could never pull this off, but she could. So where's that roll of wire? What happened to it? I'll use this one. You took it, didn't you, Harry?
No, I didn't.
I'll use this one. It's the same thing. So anyway, she's on the board of that. She can make this happen, and she will do that. And we will have that there. And we will have, I think, 2 presentations that day. One will be in the afternoon for like a late lunch type, dessert buffet type thing. And then there'll be one more toward evening. And you would be able to attend if you wanted to. She'll be selling tickets for it, and I'll know more about that later. But Mel and I will both be there, and we'll be signing the book, and I'll be giving a talk, and it's going to be a pretty fantastic experience. So anyway, keep that in mind. I don't have a date for you now. It could be, she wanted to do it October 27th, but I said, there's just no room for error there. I don't, if there's a glitch at the printers, or they're late, just late getting to me, who knows what. We could be in a world of hurts. So might be middle of November, before Thanksgiving, or it might be next spring, sometime before the workshop. And what we'll do is we'll just have like a soft opening of the book. We'll sell it, we'll have it, you can get it. But the real launch would be next spring, perhaps, depending, because I just can't get it done any sooner, and I can't get a flight over there sooner. I always fly Southwest, and they are limiting the number of flights out of Pittsburgh in June, and in July they're kind of sparse too, because in the news how they had the problems with the 737s. So half the flights are canceled. So. And if you can get on one of them, it costs you twice as much. So I can't do that. So we can't go any earlier. All right, where did I leave off with that? Since I've been yakking. I'm probably right about here. Okay. So now I've got more to put on here. So what am I going to do? Well, to balance this, I'll probably put this kind of sideways here. And I'll go around like this. Might make a... I think I'm going to do like this. Now this is going to be a little tight. See, I'm threading it back through. I'm kind of sewing it through. Lisa, have you been to it? Wow, cool. You've been to Greystone Mansion. Awesome. Well, I guess that's what we're going to do. It's not that far from Burbank, so it's, she's going to take us over there. Javi and I will be there together in August. Javi's going with me this time. So she's going to take us over there so we can see it. So that'll be cool. So we're going to do that. I'm glad for him to have this because in 1928 is not the big company that it once was, but it's still rock solid. And a lot of people come to Mel to have private label work done. I can't say who, but just last week Mel heard from some really important people in this business that he's going to be making them parts and some finished jewelry. He also makes finished jewelry for other companies. So he's doing mostly a lot of private label stuff. And then he comes up with new ideas and things, and he was just giving me a hard time because he had sent me a picture of a bracelet that he was working on, and I evidently did not get it. I said, you need to watch your mail more, you need this. And I said, look, Mel, I'm on here all the time. I said, if I haven't seen it, you didn't send it. Yes, I did, I sent it. And I said, okay, well, would you send it again for me? All right. So he did. You need to pay more attention. You need to look at those files that you had Shelley take all those pictures, and you got all that right there on your computer. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I have all the time in the world, too. Come to think of it, right? Yeah, not. Okay, but he's funny that way. Okay, so now all I have to do is I just, when I go to use it, I just kind of have to decide which is up and which is down. And that's up to me. There's no, right or wrong about it. You just kind of do. And 2 different wires. Yes, Marie, you could do that. In fact, when we were finishing the other one, we have this twisted silver wire. And we're looking to see how that might look. But it's just, I would have had to start it out with 2 pieces in my hand to make it look right, because it's a little bit too thin of a gauge, too fine of a gauge. So, but yeah, why not? Whatever you think, do it your way. So, traffic. Yeah, she says the traffic can be bad, but she says we'll go at a time when it's not. So it'll be fun. She says we'll go. So I took a class like this and it took 3 hours. Well, when you're teaching people marine, sometimes it can take longer. They have questions and they deserve to know. I mean, I fully expect that when I teach this over here in May, that it will take us a little time. But they'll have these videos to go back and look at too, so that'll be nice.
And then you have to put the charms on there.
That's what takes time. It does, because you have to wrap all your little charm stuff you're going to take off and make sure they're balanced and that. But this is one of my favorite things to do. It's just so relaxing to me.
It is.
I love it. So now I'm just going to start going back through, and I can just keep doing this as long and as much as I want.
Could you have kept it like the very first, how you had it wrapped the first time?
And just leave it? Yeah.
Just leave it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
There's no reason why you can't. I just tend to do things, a little bit more than other people.
I know. And just make sure, could we stop it?
Yeah.
Keep going.
So yeah, you can totally do that. Now I've got this a little bit too loose. Okay, there we go. So now to finish this off, I'll just go right here and I'll do a little tiny coil. You see? And then from there, I will just keep, wrapping it until it looks finished to me. To my eye, it looks done. So let me go ahead and do this. Let's see what people are saying. I'm not good look with twisted wire. Yes, they do. They do. It's pretty, but it's different animal, I guess you'd say. I got sometimes, I'll just buy well, you guys do this too when you come to my site. Don't you sometimes just buy something, have a look at it, and give it a try? So, I do that too. Because I want to see what it's like and what I can do with it and how hard it is. Because I don't like to do things that are real difficult. Most people that want to learn how to do something these days, they want to be able to learn it and make something inside of a few hours. They don't have the time, you know. Or even if, say, that you're making jewelry to sell. So I've got this tucked up here. You really don't want to be making what I call big opus pieces, unless you can get the money for them. In that case, then goody for you, go for it. Do it. But, you know, the longer you take making something, time's money. You know, when you are costing something out, you need to keep that in mind. So now I'm going to cut off another little piece so I can just finish it out to the other end. I don't want to leave it there because then when I go to use this, I'll forget and then I won't. So I won't remember what I did. Okay, I finished it right there. Alrighty, so well, maybe I should start this out with another coil. So let's do this. It's just, you know, working it out, basically. Just working it out, working with it, working it out. Not sure I can put something on it. Yeah, probably tape while you're working it. What are you going to do with that chicken, Javi? She sneaks over here with that chicken.
It's going to go like...
So Nancy thinks this is the perfect length. Well, it worked out, didn't it? It worked out. There's always usually a way to work it out somehow. It's very rarely is something just all messed up and can't.
Well, you could always start over too, you know. Wire's just like...
Yeah, wire doesn't cost a lot either, so, you know, unless you're working with sterling wire, in that case, then you might want to be careful. I love working with sterling wire, but it marks easy.
I've never worked with it.
And it's expensive, you know.
Yeah,
it's soft as butter, though. It's so easy to work with. It just has this, oh, yeah. It has its own personality, let's just say that.
It's a different...
But, you know, it also makes the cost of the piece you're working on go up, so you need to be able to charge for it. You need to keep that in mind.
It's sterling, guys.
So, anyway. Yeah, that was my biggest news this weekend, is that we're definitely having a lunch party, and that it's going to be at Greystone Mansion, so I think that's pretty neat. Who would have thought I would do this? You know, a few years ago, I didn't even know this guy. Except I knew his jewelry.
I didn't even know about 1920.
Now it's all you hear about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to start back over here. But this piece would definitely not be 1928. Mel would say, that takes too long to make. You can't make millions of years. You can't make any money like that. And he's right.
It's true.
I have learned that since I've worked with him. But, you know, we're about the art. But we also got to be smart about the art. You know? Some things you got to think about it. I want to sell this. Is anybody going to want to buy it? And are they going to pay me enough for it? Some people are really blessed with higher-end clientele that can afford to pay you for these wonderful things. And others of us aren't. I'm not. I think the most I ever got for anything was $350. And it was a commission job. Any of you guys do commission jobs? I hate them. I don't want anybody to tell me how to make my tour. I want to, you know, I want to pick the colors. I want to, you know, this and that. So I can't remember the last one I had. It's been a while. I'd rather do somebody's flowers. Which the last ones I did were hobbies.
Yeah.
4 years ago. Last week she had her happy anniversary. And she's been married to Rob for 4 years. I can't believe it. Time flies.
Next year will be 5.
And they bought their first house. this last year.
And I got a kitty.
And she has a kitty. Super Meow is his name. Don't even ask me about that name. That's her name for him. So
It was Rob's pick.
oh, Rob came up with that. I said that Javi came up with that
I
name.
just called him Doodles at first.
Well, that's a cute name for a cat.
That's what I thought. And then Rob's like, no, let's name him Superman.
Super.
But everybody thinks I'm saying Superman, not Super Meow.
Oh,
Meow,
yeah.
Meow.
Well, he's not a man. He's a cat.
Durr, that's what I said to them. People are not
Okay, now I'm going to finish this off with a mini coil. Okay, and I'm going to be done with this, except for hanging stuff off of it. Yeah, any of you guys that live in Southern California, close to LA, who want to come to that launch party, you'd be welcome. If you want to fly in to attend it, that's good too. But I'm not having like a class or anything, you know, at that time. Mel's been saying to me that, oh, you should have those ladies come back out. I loved having them here. And you should do that again. But, you know, I can't even think about that until we get this done. And then I think I'm going to be teaching responsible repurposing again this summer. So I'm going to have my hands full. I think I'm going to. I've had a number of people say they want to take it. So I love that class. That class, I just talk about what I love. And I guess I know something about it. People say I do, so, and it helps them, so. Point you in the right direction and you do the rest. How's that? You learn the value of vintage and antique jewelry. You learn the period. You just get all the details you need to go look it up and find out what you got. You got to start somewhere. Nobody teaches that. Well, a lot of people figure that out on their own, but not everybody. You have to have a starting point. If you have something and you don't know what the hey it is, it's very hard to come up with the right search terms to find it. So there. Did I break that? No, I didn't. Okay. So now I've got all these loop-de-loops here. Let me put it on so you can see with nothing in the way. See? Goes like that. So this is what I think. I'm not going to have time today to hang this full of stuff, but this is what I'm going to do. Whoever wins the drawing today will get this, so they can play with it, and I'll send you some beads and some stuff to play with. Does that sound good? Like that idea? Yeah, that's whoever wins today. And for those of you who don't know about winning, basically is whoever comes in and speaks in the chat, talks to us, has something to say, even if it's just hello, gets counted in the drawing. And it's just, you only get counted one time. You know, even if you just talk 10 times, you're going to get counted one time. And then you count it, and then we count them up, and then we put it in a random number thing, generator. And whoever wins, wins, you know. I go back and I inform everybody. I put it on the video and on the creative group. And one girl got a package 1 week and she didn't know she'd won. So that was a nice surprise for her. Anyway, yeah, whoever wins is going to get this piece that I just made for you guys. And they're going to get some beads and some other cool stuff to go with it. So. Oh, I just noticed too, I made it on the chocolate base. I thought I had another rusted iron here. I made it on chocolate. So let's look and see what's the difference. Not a lot, but I will have to tell you, I think the rusted iron is a little richer for this, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it that much anyway. Anywho, and another thing I'm going to do is I have more of these in chocolate house, and I've not put them on the site yet because I have to wait and see if we're going to get enough of them for the class come in on time. So, because if we don't have this piece, I don't know what we're going to do. So anyway, everybody who orders tonight, starting right now, if you place an order at bisaboutiques.com, I'm not going to put a dollar amount minimum on it. Usually I do because I have to. But in this case, I'm not going to do that this week. If you order tonight from BeSoBoutiques.com, and there's a whole lot of new stuff. You know, we got all the new Choxias in. Shelly restocked Memory Wire today. I don't know. There's just all kinds of stuff. We got new beads in again. There's just a lot of stuff. So if you want to come check out the new stuff. Oh, we got some cute little new enameled charms too. We got this kitty. Oh, this kitty who's rowing a boat and he's in a light bulb. What that's supposed to mean, I don't know. Somebody must have been drinking, but
It was so cute.
it's so cute. We have that. But anyway, any order, any size, the first 10 of them from now on, boom, going to get one of these free. It's going to show up in your order, the first 10 people. And till I do 10. And if that goes into tomorrow, then it does. But I'm going to do 10. Next 10 orders, starting right now, could win this. Okay. So, Lisa Marie, hey, how you doing? We're trying to see who else is here. Lynn Reeve, hey, good to see you too. Bertlenia, oh, good. You're new. That's great. Karen Robles is here. Robles. Lisa Hayes. Well, we have pretty good. We have 51 on here now. The top one we ever had was 61.
I think it was close to 70, actually.
Really, was it?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to have that today, I guess. But I'm looking forward to someday. Maybe we'll have 100, huh? We went over a new hurdle this week. We went over 33,000 subscribers.
No.
And then it went on from that, and we're getting up to where we're going on 33,000 subscribers, and we're going toward 33,100. Be pretty soon. It's going to come up. But you know, I want to tell you too, if you've not joined us at Facebook at the Creative Group, please know you're warmly welcome. That's where we have so much fun and really get to know each other. And you're warmly welcome. If you can stay on Facebook, come join Facebook, and then look for Bisou Boutiques Creative Group and come and join us, because I'm there every day just about. And all the rest of these characters that work here are on there too. And then all these people, most of us here that I'm seeing popping up on here, I would say 85% of us here are from the Creative Group. And they're just wonderful. Also, if you have the means and you're able to come to Columbiana, Ohio, May 17th through 19th, we're having the 3-day workshop, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be making these wire wrap bracelets there. We're going to be doing tissue decoupage many ways. Wouldn't this be cool if you had tissue decoupage components hanging from it? Now that would be a real mixed media piece. Oh yeah. In fact, I think I have to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get some done till Thursday. I won't promise though, but I hope I can. I gotta start packing those hampers for the workshop. Anyway, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do tissue decoupage on Friday. That's our day when we're gonna make our mess. And then we're gonna do a wire wrap, and Javi's gonna show you how to wrap bracelets that day too.
Yeah.
And then we're going to, the next day, do kitchen sink jewelry. So it's going to be fun, fun, fun. Okay? So if you can make it, there is an event group. I'll post it here in the description. You can come over and read what's going to happen. And the cost for it is $285, and that's all 3 days. You do have to get your hotel on top of that, but they do give you breakfast with it. A lot of them like to room together. There's some of them today that are coming. It's just a great time. I know it's a stretch financially for a lot of people. That's why I'm always honored that as many people as do come. I'm very, very honored by that they would come to see me like that. But we try to make it worth it. And we have a wonderful time. Wonderful, wonderful time together. And we have open studio at night. So you can come back after dinner and piddle around till about 10 o'clock. So that would be great. So, anybody have any questions or anything else they would like to say today? This is one of these days I'm going to make it to your workshop. Listen, Lynn, if you can make it, I will make it a party of your life. Yes, ma'am. You'll be really glad you came. Lynn lives in Australia, so that would be quite a trek for her.
That'd be
But
pretty
you know what? You'll love it. You'll love Ohio in May. It's beautiful here.
awesome. Oh, yeah.
Drunken light bulb kitty.
Someone really said that.
That's great. Yeah. So I keep talking to Peter Twining and tell him he should come over and teach a class, but he always blows me off. So
He's like, nah.
nah. I think he would really like it, but I think maybe he'd be embarrassed because we'd make such a fuss over him. I don't know. But we'll make a fuss over you instead, Lynn, if you come, okay? How do we sign up for the raffle? You just did, Diane. All you have to do is say
Place
something.
a comment.
You just did. You're already signed up, kid. You're taken care of.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, I always forget to tell
Please.
that. Yes, please. And tell your friends about us.
Yes.
Tell your friends to join us. We do this every Sunday. I hope I made it interesting for you. I'm a little bit energy deprived today. I didn't sleep well last night.
I have so much energy.
I have a confession to make. I've been staying up watching, binge watching some stuff.
Brenda.
And then I lose track of time. Next thing I know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, I need to get up tomorrow. So it takes me all morning to get. So I got to stop this because you know what? This workshop is coming, and I'm gonna have to be up by 5 for those days. So you know what?
Yeah.
This has got to end right now. So anyway, I'm just telling you, that's what happens.
You're probably not the only one that does that.
No, I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that, but I'm the one that's suffering because I did it to myself, right? So anyway, thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Leslie. Hi. Thank you for coming. Diane, Karen. So many of you came. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to sign off now unless somebody has something else they want to say. Say it now. Say what you mean to say.
Say what you need to say.
Yeah. So we're going to take off this week, and we will be back Friday with some more stuff about Wonky Wire, and that will be a regular video. It won't be live. But we'll be back live with you on next Sunday, which I don't know what the date is, but it'll be in May. Can you believe that? May already?
May.
Gee, already. Thank you, Melissa. We love it when you and Harpo come see us. Thank you for coming. Thanks, everybody. Where's the chicken?
I'm right here.
Chicken's going to sing its final song. That's the funky chicken. Okay, enough of that. That's enough of that. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. You're the